Namaste, namaste everyone, live and not live, and welcome to this Friday night yoga session. Tonight we are going to do a little variation of the shoulder stand. This is one that is sometimes called legs up the wall. In Sanskrit it's called Vipariti Karani or Karini. And for this variation you can either use the wall, which is quite good if you've got tight hamstrings, or you can use a block or a thick book, like an encyclopedia or a thesaurus. So something that can give your hips a little bit of lift would be ideal. If you don't have access to the wall or a door or a closed wardrobe, don't worry about it, because there will be this alternative. And this is the one that I should be doing tonight as well. And we might use a block of this kind also for a supported bridge pose, so feel free to have one close by. So let us begin tonight sitting down. So bring yourself into any comfortable seated pose. It could be kneeling. You can use any support that you like to give your hips a little bit of space, a cushion or similar. And then as you sit in whichever position you choose, on a chair or on the floor, allow your body to find those connections that it has downwards. So in the bony bits in the bottom, the sitting bones, in the outside edges of the feet or the shins if you're kneeling. And from those connections, feel the firmness and the stability of the ground, drawing your energy down, creating a safe place from which you can grow tall, finding the space in your spine and the back of the body underneath the rib cage to sit tall without clenching or clutching, just gently lifting. And then closing your eyes or gazing gently downward if you prefer. And spend a moment just to arrive on the mat. Take a moment to leave behind the rest of your day, the rest of your week. Leave behind any conflict, arguments, things to do, things to worry about. And just be here in this moment, in this place, in this time. Feel how your body feels right now. Do you notice any areas that feel tight or stiff or uncomfortable? Can you also notice any areas that feel light and spacious and at ease? Notice the breath that you're breathing right now. And allow your focus to be on one aspect of the breath, perhaps the rhythm of the breath, the sensation of air coming in and out of the nose, or the movement of the body as you breathe. And then at the end of your next exhalation, just gently drawing the abdominal muscles in to ease a little extra air out of the lungs, and breathing more purposefully deeper into the sides of the body, the chest, the back. And slowly and easy, breathing more fully out, using the muscles of the tummy just to help end that complete breath. Breathing deeply into the rib cage, the collarbones, the shoulder blades. Breathing out fully and completely, gently engaging across the navel. A few more deep breaths like this. As you exhale, allow an easing of tension through the mind, through the body. And as you breathe in, focus on drawing in that energy, that prana of life, filling the body with vitality, light, rejuvenation. As you exhale, soften the features of the face, let go of the tension of the shoulders. And you can allow your breath to continue in this rhythm as we begin our body investigations, but if you prefer to let it fall in its natural rhythm, that's fine. So with your eyes perhaps open or perhaps closed as you choose, just drawing the chin towards the chest. And here, maybe just gently waving the nose from side to side, feeling the effect as you hold the chin forward without force. And then from your center, rolling the right ear towards the right shoulder, chin back to the chest, left ear to left shoulder, and side to side. So you can move as slowly as feels comfortable, or a little bit more quickly if your body feels better doing it more swiftly. Usually at the end of the day, a slower movement is more fitted to our energy. And if you want to, you can lift your chin to join the two sides into a small circle without taking the head too far back. And if you're rotating in both directions, changing direction now, making any other movements if these ones don't suit your neck. When you're ready, you can bring your head upright. And so we'll move into the shoulders, rolling the shoulders a little bit backwards to begin with. And of course, forwards as well. And then taking the hands onto the knees, we're gently going to stir the upper body. So feeling a little rotation from the base of the spine to the crown of the head, wobbling a little bit on the hips and buttocks. We can go in the other direction as well. Just a small one to begin our practice. And then having warmed up the sides of the body a little bit, perhaps rolling a little bit more with the shoulders side to side or front to back. And when you feel ready, you can free your arms and you can do anything that feels good to you. So you might do a little twisting. You might use both arms at the same time to do some soft circling backwards and forwards. You might prefer to do one arm at a time. I prefer one arm at a time because it lets me get right into the movements of the torso. I can feel that connection between the movements of the arm, the shoulder, the neck, the chest, the back. And obviously going in both directions, whatever you're choosing to do. And you can work to both sides if you're doing one arm at a time. For those of you who have practiced, and that means anyone who's been doing regular yoga for more than a year or so, you might feel that you're able to direct this part of the practice, this investigation of your body yourself. You don't have to follow these directions. You can move in any way that suits you. That really applies to anyone at any time. And then perhaps just taking a moment to extend the legs, either one at a time or both at the same time. They can be out, they can be forward, they can be bent, they can be straight. Rolling the feet at the ankles, maybe finding a little movement down the sides of the body and into the hips. And if you want to, you can do a little snaking of the upper body from side to side, just to find some forward release. So you can do one leg at a time or over one bent leg at a time if that feels better, if it feels better not to move too deeply into the hamstrings. If you like, you can make this into a twist, much more dynamic. You can fold. You can release yourself backwards if you want to. Do anything that you want. And perhaps a little bit of rolling in the wrists. We're going to do a bit more of that in a moment anyway. When you're ready, when you feel limbered through, then gathering yourself in, and we'll start actually, of course, with the right leg in front of the left. Now, if you don't want to sit cross-legged, that's fine. Just let your knees be slightly apart. You can do all of this the same, sitting with the legs out in front. I just wouldn't leave them too long. Or you can kneel is another way to do this. So we're gently going to lean to our left side, reaching the arm away from us so that we really almost have to lift the right buttock off the floor and reach the right arm over to the left. And we're just going to gently press up a little and slide down a little. So we can use a little momentum here and also a little support from our left hand. So you could even press slightly off the floor, but we're just coming back to upright and over. Very good. And then this time when you come over, just reaching over here, maybe a little bit more. And we're going to allow the right arm to come back to the right side and roll just the right shoulder. So still leaned over, still feeling length down that side of the body, and the shoulder rolling in the other direction as well. My shoulder doesn't like to roll so much forwards. And then reaching the right arm up, articulating through the fingers, rolling in the wrist. Really expressive movements with the wrist and the fingers in both directions. And just making sure that your head is comfortable here, your left shoulder released. Tucking your thumb into your palm and wrapping the other fingers around for a little more rolling in the wrist. And if it's not comfortable like that, you can create a closed hand in any way that feels good to you, rolling the opposite way as well. Again, just making sure you haven't got any tension in the neck, the shoulder. And then to come out, we're going to relax our top hand, just gently bounce on this bottom hand and press up to sitting and relax the arms down to the side. Very good. We're going to change the cross of the legs so the left leg is in front. Going to reach the right hand out to the right, reach the left hand all the way over, maybe even lifting the left buttock up. And we're just going to bounce a little back to the center and over. Using the right hand, you can take the whole hand off the floor, or you can just press up and down gently. And then this time we're holding as we lean, just reaching the left hand a little further away from you. If you want to, you could reach the left hip away as well. There's no need to keep it on the floor. And then reaching the left hand down in front of the body and around to the side so we can roll just that shoulder. And at the same time, making sure your neck is feeling free, your right shoulder is nice and relaxed. Let's roll in the opposite direction as well. We're trying to feel that connection down the left side of the body, sorry. And reaching the arm up, articulating through the fingers, rolling through the wrist, feeling really expressive. Again, checking your head is nice and relaxed, rolling the other way as well. And this is great if you've been typing all day or sitting at a desk during the day, painting if you're Ian, and then placing your thumb into your palm, wrapping the other fingers around and rolling again. Oh, that just feels so good to roll through the wrist like that, that closed palm. And the opposite way as well, checking that your shoulders relaxed, your head and neck are feeling like they're not holding anywhere. And then to come up, relaxing your hand, just bouncing a little bit on your right hand and bouncing yourself back up to center, relaxing the arms down to the side. Aces. We're going to take our feet to the soles of the feet together, and I'm shuffling my bottom back a bit, so I prefer to do this with a little bit more of a gap between the heels and the buttocks, but you can do it with your heels pulled towards you if you prefer. We're just going to ease our elbows into the inner thighs, holding onto the ankles. Do a little bit of rocking from side to side. So you don't have to go far. You certainly don't have to weeble all the way from one side to the other. We're just doing a little bit of mobilizing here. And then in your center, we're going to draw the chest forward to open the heart, draw the shoulder blades down, lift a little in the throat, and then snake from side to side. So we're finding a little bit of extra length in the low back. As we move from side to side, you can use the arms for a little bit of leverage. You don't need to. And if you can, in your center, just finding somewhere to rest the arms and let the head come forward. We're not trying to get the head down to the floor. We're just trying to let the neck find a comfortable spot so that we can feel the roundness, the length down the sides of the body, and a little bit also across the groin. Take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. And then we're just gently going to roll up. We don't particularly need to be really bent to do that, but just rolling up a little. We're going to gather the knees together. I'm just going to turn to one side because we're going to come down onto the backs now. So reaching your hands forward and just rolling back and down to the floor, one spine at a time, hopefully just the one spine, one vertebra at a time if you can. Releasing the arms away from the body, the knees are bent with the feet on the floor, and allowing yourself a moment just to allow the body to find this new shape against the floor. Take a couple of deep breaths, and if anything has come up from our early practice, then sighing out through the mouth. Doing that relaxes the chest, the throat, and the tongue, and sometimes the forehead and the belly as well. So try that. Of course, if it exacerbates a dry throat or a cough, then you don't need to do it. Okay, so continuing to breathe just in and out through the nose, we're gently going to sway the knees from one side to the other. We don't need to get very far. We're not looking for any particular end shape or end goal, just a little movement. And the feet are wide here, so the knees are apart, they're not together. And maybe they're gradually making their way a little deeper into this twist. Again, there's no end goal, but if you're able to hold the twist comfortably, next time the knees come to the left, just allowing them to be there, perhaps turning the head from side to side, a gentle sway of the nose in the air, and then finding a place that feels comfortable for the head. And for those of you who've been taught the yoga for years, you might automatically look away from your knees. But for lots of people, actually looking in the same direction as their knees is the more comfortable position for the neck. So just decide. It can be a neutral position as well. Either one is good. We'll take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. Firmness in the belly and bringing the knees back to center, the head back to center. Gentle sway, not getting anywhere in particular, and then releasing the knees down to the right. And again, turning the head a little from side to side, just deciding where feels most comfortable. It may surprise you to find that your head feels more comfortable turned in the same direction on this side as it was on the other side. Wherever you are, accept that that is just the body you have, and it's awesome. Take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. Bringing the head and the knees back to center, a little gentle sway again before bringing the knees back to stillness. So last week we did a little bridge, but we used our arms as well. And this week we're going to just do it all together in one go without doing any of the introductory bits. So if you want to, you can bring your feet a little bit closer to your buttocks, but you don't want them super close. So if you're one of those people who's able to get their feet right up against their bums, then just give yourself a little bit of space. We're going to reach the arms down to the sides, press the back of the shoulders and the shoulder blades and the heels down into the mat. Feel that you're already a touch lifted from the floor. Perhaps your buttocks are engaged. Press gently down with the back of the head, not so firmly. And then inhale, lifting the hips up. When the rib cage begins to lift, then release the arms up over the head, reaching them away behind you. And exhaling, allowing the hips to come down and the arms to come down by the side. So you don't need to breathe with this. If you simply want to move, that's okay. Pressing down with the shoulders, down with the back of the body, down with the heels, engaging the buttocks, pressing gently down with the back of the head. Inhaling the hips up. When the rib cage begins to lift, free the arms to come up and over. And then exhaling all the way down. I'm going to do 3 more like this. So engage the back of the body down, lifting the hips as you inhale, lift the arms when the rib cage comes up, and exhaling all the way down. Engaging down to lift. Maybe focus on chest to chin this time, lifting the arms when the rib cage lifts. And releasing all the way down. We'll do just 1 more. Pressing down to engage and lift, lifting the arms. And releasing down. Very nice. And when you come down, this time we're going to slide the right leg long along the mat. Turn the palm of the right hand down and slide it underneath the ribs on the right side of the body. So we end up with the flat of the palm against the floor, the right elbow bent out to the right side, the left knee up towards the ceiling, and the left arm out to the left. And we're going to roll to the right, drawing a circle over the head with the left hand, rolling over towards the right. You won't go all the way because your elbow's sticking out, and then rolling back to center. Rolling into the twist. And rolling out to center. And as you do this, you might feel a little intense stretch on the front of your right shoulder or the back of your shoulder, depending on where it's good for you. So we're just flirting with it. We're in and out. And if you feel that you can hold, you can come into hold this time. And this time, taking the chin towards the right shoulder a little, using the left hand for support. If you feel super comfortable, you can extend the right leg in front of you and rest it down, and that will, the weight of the right leg will further increase the evil shoulder opener number 1. If you prefer, you can just rest your leg behind you. And you might be able to reach your left hand further, left arm further. That's all good. We'll take a deep breath in. And a deep breath out. See if you can do it with a smile on your face. Deep breath in, deep breath out. And then we're gently rolling out back to center, releasing the right arm from underneath the body, just giving the arms a little bit of a wiggle, bend both knees, place the feet down on the floor, roll the knees to the left, and then roll to your left and come up into sitting so that you end up with your knees on the right side of your body. Fantastic stuff. I hope that that works, that transition, because I have to do it backwards and sometimes I confuse myself. Super. So here we're in, sometimes this is called Mermaid Pose or Deer Pose. We've got the left knee in front of the left hip and the right knee out towards the right of the right hip. It doesn't need to be exactly at the side of the hip if that doesn't suit you. I find that that makes me arch my spine in an odd way, so I have it slightly further forward. That's all good. Both feet flexed to protect your knees, but not firmly flexed. Sitting tall. Here, just Turning the head from side to side for a moment, feeling how that feels. We're going to turn to revolving to our left. So taking the right hand perhaps to the outside of the left thigh, or the knee, and just tracing the fingers of the left hand back a bit to open the chest. Here, we're not aiming for a full twist right now. What we're aiming for is that feeling of length and openness. So feel how it feels to you to do this, and perhaps you can see how it feels to turn the head towards the left shoulder and perhaps back towards the right shoulder. And you might feel something in the back of the body or in the chest. And we're just going to take one more rotation. And then very gently unwind the spine a little and turn to the opposite side. We'll come back to center. Aces. Okay, so we're going to toddler wobble from here. You're going to take your hands behind you, lean back onto your buttocks and free your feet. And so here, this week, we're just going to do the feet on their own. You can take your legs in any direction, firm in the belly muscles, and really enjoy wiggling yourself around, but with the support of your hands as well, so it's not so much hard work. When you're ready, you can bring your knees down on the other side, so you're in the same position, but on the other side of the body. Well done, guys. Okay, so here we're doing evil shoulder opener number 2. We're going to take the back of the right hand and slide it across to the left hip. So the fingers maybe stick out to the side here. And if that works, you can hold onto your inner left elbow and reach your left hand towards your left shin, or towards the left thigh or the right ankle. So one of these, if that's possible. If it's not possible to hold onto your own elbow, then simply leave the hand behind you. That's enough. You can use a belt, of course, if you want to. Here, again, we're just turning the head from side to side. You can use the position of the arms to provide a little bit of traction on that right shoulder. Then we're going to take the left ear towards the left shoulder. That might feel great, it might feel not so good. Try taking your chin towards your chest and lifting your chin up. You can move slowly between these two, maybe 2 or 3 times. And then you might find a spot that just feels amazing and stay there for a deep breath in and a deep breath out. We're gently going to roll the chin down and back to center. Release the hands. Ooh, that's nice. And then fold the back leg in front of the front leg. So you've got the left leg folded in front for a cross-legged position. And then we will do evil shoulder opener number 3. They're not really that evil, but some of them are more than others. So taking the back of the right hand and sliding it as far up the back, so between the shoulder blades if possible. And then we're going to take the left arm and we're going to wind up this shoulder. Prepare it. Move in both directions. Soften the elbow. Feel perhaps the movement on the back of the fingers behind you. Reach the left hand up and then take it to the base of the skull, the top of the neck, and cup the head there. Release your head back so that you feel that that left hand is taking the weight of your head, and maybe just doing a gentle turn of the head from side to side. Here we're going to rotate the whole body, a little bit like our circles at the beginning of the class, but keeping the arms in this position. 3 times in this direction and 3 times in the opposite direction as well. Very good. As you come upright here, you've got the opportunity to move the hands towards each other. And if you can, hold onto the fingers of the right hand with the left, then do that. But if you can't, then keep holding the back of your head. Doesn't matter which one you're doing. We're gently going to turn our head from side to side. I can do it on this side, but not the other. And you may have one side that works better than the other as well. And then we're simply going to fold forward. So a deep breath in here, and as you exhale, folding forward. It doesn't matter how far you go. So if you're comfortable a little upright like this, that's great. And if you're comfortable further forward, then that's fine too. Wherever you are, holding for a deep breath in and a deep breath out. And then pressing into the legs, using the abdominal muscles to come upright again. We're going to release the top hand, float it down to the side. Release the bottom hand, allow it to come around your hip and relax the arms a little. Okay, so originally we were holding this pose, and in our other transitions we've come into a lunge from here, but we are going to do something slightly different today. So we're going to come into a seated spinal twist this way round. So if you had your left leg in front, you're just going to prop your left leg up and see if you can inch your right knee behind your left ankle. Now, it doesn't matter if you don't have both hips on the floor exactly the same, but if you're more comfortable extending your right leg out in front of you and just crossing that leg over, you can do that. So choose whatever feels more comfortable to you. And we're going to sit really tall, wrap the right arm around the left thigh and really draw it close to the body. Lift the belly muscles to move them out of the way. If you have a chest to move out of the way, move that out of the way as well. And then reaching up with the left hand, take the left hand down slightly behind you. Don't lean back on it. Allow it to prop you upright on your fingertips. And again, we're just moving the head around and back to the center or back to the opposite side. So just looking from one side to the other, across the shoulders. And if you feel comfortable holding, looking over your left shoulder or in the direction of the left shoulder, a deep breath in and a deep breath out. We're going to unwind the head, then release the hands, unwind the spine, and we're going to keep going. So we're going to reach the right hand behind us and pivot on our toes, and we might need to walk ourselves around into a little bit of a downward facing dog. So here, now this might be your first down dog of the day, and if it is, then just gently easing through the heels. I was going to say wiggling the legs, but I mean bending the knees. You can wiggle your legs if you want to, of course. So from this down dog, just dropping your knees to the mat for a moment, I'd like you to try a wider grip of your down dog. So turning your fingers slightly out and taking your hands towards the outside edges of your mat. Now, if you've got a really wide mat, you don't want them maybe that wide, but outside shoulder width apart. And see if this suits you better. So if you're really strong in the upper body, this might suit you better than it does if you've got the hands closer together. So in down dog, we're going to drop the hips to the heels by bending the knees, looking back at our toes, and do 2 waving vinyasas. So pressing off the toes to round forward through the spine. You can do this from your knees if you need to. Opening the chest as you look forward and softening the elbows, softening the knees. You can do a gentle sway from side to side. Coming back through plank pose or press up position into your downward facing dog. And we're going to do one more like that. Now, if the grip of having your hands turned out doesn't suit you, you can change your grip. Bending the knees, rolling forward, pressing off the toes, bringing the shoulders forward, opening the chest. And here, just a gentle turn of the head from side to side. Very good. Coming back through plank pose into downward facing dog. And then here, we're going to allow our knees to come to the mat. And we're going to come back down to lying on our backs. So this you can do in any way that suits you. I did have one of those funny transitions for us, but there's no need. So sitting, looking at the back of your mat, rolling down, bending the knees, allowing your body to find its way to release back into this more neutral shape and absorb the effects of your practice. So a few deep breaths. See if you can let go of any tension. If you need to, sighing out through your mouth. And feel that soften the face, relax the shoulders, the chest, the back of the neck. Lovely. Okay, let's prepare for our bridge poses again. So heels can come slightly closer to the buttocks if you like, toes can point out to the side, arms relax down away from the body. Engaging down with the shoulder blades, the shoulders, the heels of the feet, engaging the buttocks upwards, pressing down gently with the back of the head, lifting the hips until the rib cage comes up, and then lifting the hands up and over and releasing back down again. You can do this with your breath, of course, if you like. Engaging back with the body, breathing in to lift up, gentle pressure in the back of the head, reaching the arms over, and breathing out and down. We'll do just one more. Breathing in to lift up, lifting the arms when the rib cage comes up, and breathing out and down. Here, sliding the left leg away from you, turning the left palm towards the floor and sliding the fingers underneath the bottom ribs so that you can't quite touch your spine, but you can feel the back of the ribs on the back of your hand. And then we're reaching the right arm over the head and twisting to the left and rolling out again. Twisting to the left and rolling away. So again, we're moving dynamically. We're not thinking about holding a full twist until we've warmed up to it. We've shown the body the way. And so this next time, if you'd like to hold in your twist, you can. If you want to continue moving, you can. Turn your chin towards your left shoulder. If you wish to extend your right leg to provide just a little bit of extra weight, a little bit of extra intensity to the posture, you can. If it's already feeling really super intense, use your right arm for some support and keep your left leg tucked behind you or even on the floor behind you. I mean, right leg, of course. Super duper. Okay, deep breath in. Deep breath out. And then when you're ready, rolling out. Releasing your arms, giving them a little bit of a wiggle and a wave. Maybe give your hips a little bit of a wiggle as well. And we're going to let the knees come down on the right side, roll to the right, and come up to sitting so that you end up with your knees on your left side, ready for our mermaid twist. Excellent stuff. So here we're taking the left hand across the body to the right thigh or knee and reaching the right hand behind us. Just feeling how it feels to be in this position first. We're exploring by turning the head from side to side. And then you might feel that you can hold, looking over your right shoulder, maybe using a bit of traction with the left hand. Maybe you're not ready to do that, that's okay. Deep breath in and a deep breath out. We're going to turn the head back to center, then unwind the spine, turn a little to the opposite side. And we're going to reach our hands back to come into that toddler wobble, but we're going to place our feet down and then make our upper body and arms move. So it doesn't matter, you can draw the chest towards the knees and then away again. You can twist, you can shimmer side to side, whichever you like. And then when you're ready, allowing the feet to come down, knees to come down on the right side. So you're ready for evil shoulder opener number 2. So for this, we're sliding the back of the left hand across the body so that the fingers hopefully come out on the right hip. And if you can, catching hold of the inner elbow of the right arm and reaching forward to the front of the right thigh or the left ankle, whichever is good. Using a belt if you need to, holding onto your clothes if you need to. Sitting tall, and just begin by turning the head from side to side. And we're developing awareness of where we hold tension, so it's easier to find, easier to weed out. And then taking your right ear towards your right shoulder, maybe chin to chest, maybe chin up. Just rolling this openness down the left side of the neck into the front of the shoulder. Maybe you can feel it under your tongue, into your temple, your ear. Wherever you feel is the sweet spot for you to rest, rest there. See if you can smile or relax the face for a deep breath in and a deep breath out. And gently rolling your head back to center and releasing the arms. Oh, give them a little bit of a wave and a shake. And we're going to cross the right leg in front of the left leg for evil shoulder opener number 3, which is really Gomukhasana arms, so cow's face pose arms. So we're going to take the left hand again, slide the back of the hand all the way up between the shoulder blades if you can, and with the right arm making some big sweeping circles, preparing the shoulder blade and the shoulder joint both directions. And when you're ready, you can reach the arm up and reach for the back of the head. Release the weight of the head into the hand and gently turn the head from side to side, making sure that the back of the neck feels good. Then in your center, making 3 circles with the whole of the upper body and torso. You don't need to make your circles so deep. It doesn't matter how they look. And we'll go in the opposite direction as well. And these movements are included because they're really functional. It's actually how the body moves. The body hardly ever moves in linear ways. So here in the center, if you can reach the hands towards each other and they touch and you can grip, then you can do that. If not, keep holding the back of your head. And we'll take a deep breath in, again checking the neck is free. Deep breath out. One more like that. Deep breath in. And deep breath out. Reaching the top hand up and down to the side, sliding the bottom hand down the back and around the hip. Oh, that feels so good. Okay, so from here we're going into our spinal twist. So if we had our right leg out to the right, we would cross it over the left thigh. But from here, all we need to do is lift the right knee up and then inch the right foot to the left and the left knee to the right. So we end up in our Ardha Matsyendrasana, half spinal Lord of the Fishes pose, of course, half spinal Lord, half Lord of the Fishes, seated spinal twist even. So if that really doesn't suit your hips, if you feel that you're really off balance, you can have a little bit of space underneath the right buttock, but if you feel really off balance, extend your left leg in front of you. You just have your right foot crossed over your left thigh. And then here, sitting tall, wrapping the left arm around the right thigh, drawing it towards you. Perhaps it's just the hand, perhaps you've got your elbow wrapped around. Lifting the tummy muscles out of the way, lifting your chest out of the way if you need to, reaching the right hand up and taking that hand down behind you, maybe just a touch away from you, so you're tenting your fingertips, not leaning back onto that hand, but using it to press you forward, lifting through the crown of the head, gently turning the head from one side to the other. You don't need to move quickly. If you want to move more slowly, that's fine. If you'd like to try, you can turn to look over the right shoulder or in that direction and hold for a deep breath in and a deep breath out. One more deep breath in. Deep breath out. We're gently going to turn to the front of the head, release the hands, unwind the spine, turn a little to the opposite side and back to center. And then we're going to revolve ourselves into a downward facing dog. So taking the left hand down behind you, turning to the left, pivoting on the feet. I could do this with my bottom facing you, but I prefer to be sideways on the mat. So coming into your downward facing dog, doesn't matter which direction you're pointed in. Again, we're going to walk through the dog. We're going to do a little crouching twist here. So I will try and explain it as best I can. I'm going to bring my hands as close, a bit closer to my feet, so I've got a really narrow dog. And then my feet are quite wide apart. I'm going to bend my knees and twist my knees to the right and lift the right hand up towards the ceiling. So it's a little crouching twist. And then I'm going to come back to that downward facing dog shape. Bend my knees, twist my feet and knees to the left, lift the left arm up, little crouching twist, and back to downward facing dog. Let's do that one more time to each side. Bend the knees, twist the feet and the knees to the right, lift the left arm up, heels are close to the buttocks or buttocks close to the heels, back to center. Bend the knees, twist the knees to the left, lift the left hand up, and coming back to center. Very nice. Super duper. So from here, we're going to widen our downward facing dog again. And we're going to do a little series with a three-legged dog and a bit of a wild thing as well. Oh, so many things. Okay, so feet close together. Let's do left leg first. So lifting the left leg up behind you as you look forward, three-legged dog. We're going to bring the knee to the left elbow as we bring the shoulders forward over the hands, and then press back up into your three-legged dog, and then bring your knee to your right elbow. So a little twist as you bring your shoulders to your hands. Let's do one more to each elbow. So left leg up, knee to right, the knee to left elbow, and pressing back, and knee to left elbow, right elbow even, and pressing back. And then this time, bending your knee underneath you, we're going to turn to the right and place the outside of that leg down. So we come back to sitting in our sort of mermaid pose. This may be a transition we do another time. And we're going to do a gentle baby wild thing and a twist. So here, cactus arms. That means bending only at the elbows. We're going to twist towards the, I've got my legs on the wrong side now, sorry. Twist towards the right and then place the left hand down behind you and roll the right arm up and over to bring the hips back down to the ground. Cactus arms, twist, and then place the left hand behind you. We'll sweep the hands up and over and bring the hips down. One more time, twist, and then reach the left hand behind you, sweep the arms up and over, and hips come back down. And then we're going to come back into our downward facing dog. So we're moving away from where the knees are to place the hands down, lengthen into the right leg, and lift the left leg up behind you. Left leg comes to the ceiling, and we drop that leg down. Okay. So we're going to do the same thing now with the opposite side. So it looks like I'm going to use the same leg, but I'm using a different leg, I promise. So this time it's the right leg that comes up in our three-legged dog, and then we bring the right knee to the right elbow, shoulders over the wrists, and then back to three-legged dog. Right knee to left elbow, back to three-legged dog. Right knee to right elbow, back to three-legged dog. Right knee to left elbow, and back to three-legged dog. This time we bend the right knee underneath the body. We take the right knee to the left, so we let the outside edge of the right leg come to the mat. I'm going to change my legs to the other side, like you guys. And then we end up with our legs on the left-hand side in our lovely, beautiful mermaid pose again, ready for our cactus arms and our baby wild things. So from here, twisting to the left, and then taking the right arm down behind you, reaching the left arm up and over, the hips away from the mat, and coming down. Cactus arms, twisting to the left, taking the right hand down behind you, reaching the left arm up and over, lifting through the chest, lifting through the hips. Back to sitting. One more time. Twisting and releasing, reaching up and over and back down. And then from here, back into our downward facing dog. So we're turning towards that right side, placing the hands down, placing the left foot on the ground, lifting the right leg up into three-legged dog, and then we're coming just into a normal downward facing dog for a few paddles with the feet. And then when you're ready, releasing your knees down to your mat, toes together, knees apart, and really reaching the hands as far forward as feels comfortable, forehead to the mat, or making a pillow out of your hands. Take a couple of deep breaths here. And then gently patting your hands towards you. We're going to bring the knees towards each other and just kneeling for a moment. Excellent stuff, guys. Okay, so hopefully all of that feels like it's becoming a little bit more familiar. Maybe. We will do some more chest opening things next week, some more heart releasing things. We've done quite a lot this week, but we've done a lot of twisting, and that's because we're working on this functional fascial line which joins the hips to the shoulders, but mostly is concerned with the diagonal line across the body. So now that we've opened nicely, we will do just one more chest opening thing before we do our shoulder stand. In fact, two, let's say two. So we're going to take the hands behind the body and interlace the fingers. If you need to do this up on your knees, then that's not a problem at all, don't worry. Roll the shoulder blades towards each other and try to lengthen the arms away from you a little. Now what I'd like you to do is avoid sagging into your wrists and having your fingers pulling apart. Instead, think about drawing your palms towards each other, and you don't need to have your arms actually long. You can keep your elbows a little soft. Here we're just gently going to reach the hands down as we lift the chest up and then come back to center. Let's do two more. Lifting the chest as we reach the hands down, firm in the belly and back to center. One more time. And back to center. And then releasing the hips to the heels, or just releasing the hands forward is enough. And taking a moment, either kneeling, sitting if you prefer, or just resting the hands wherever is good. Breath in, breath out. And then we're going to do something called melting heart pose, or Anahata Asana. So Anahata means heart in Sanskrit. So Anahata chakra is the heart chakra, and this pose is the melting heart pose. So if you come into hands and knees, we want to have the knees right underneath the hips if possible. A little leverage doesn't mind. And then we're going to reach the hands as far forward as feels comfortable, and lifting the belly, draw the shoulder blades towards each other and just melt your heart down towards the mat. Now the idea is that your hips stay above your knees, and you can open your open your throat by looking forward, or you can bring your forehead towards the mat. Now if you don't get anywhere close to the mat, that's okay. And what we're going to do is pulse. So we're going to press into the hands and round through the back to come back up, and use the buttocks to lift, and then gently lower. So it doesn't matter how far down you come. We're going to tuck the tailbone under, round through the back, chin towards the chest, and then gently lower, perhaps looking forward towards the hands. Let's come up and down two more times. And this time, if you want to hold, if you're close to the mat and you want to hold, then you can. And if you're not close to the mat and you want to hold, you can as well. Absolutely. Just feel the space underneath the armpits, drawing the shoulder blades together, feeling that openness in the heart particularly, and into the palms of the hands as well. Deep breath in, deep breath out. And then using the buttocks rounding through the spine to bring yourself up, we're going to pad the hands back towards us and either sit or kneel, resting the arms, rolling the shoulders if you need to, turning the head or undulating in any way that feels good to release. And if you need to let go of something, take a deep breath in. Sigh out through the mouth. Awesome sauce. Okay, so we're ready for legs up the wall, or Vipariti Karani. And I will show you the wall and then I'll show you the floor. You can do either way. You will need your block of awesomeness to do either variation. So if you have a wall, a door, or a solid surface that you can get near, then get yourself right up against it, facing sideways on, and then you roll your torso down and your legs up to rest on the wall. And when the time comes, you will press your feet onto the wall, roll your hips up and place the block underneath the hips. Okay? So that is how we will do it, legs up the wall. And if you are freestanding, then that's okay too. So if you're freestanding, we start from lying down on the back. We have the feet on the floor. We're going to roll the hips up and place that block on its lowest orientation underneath the sacrum. So that applies if your legs up the wall or on the floor underneath the sacrum. And then we're just taking a moment to feel ourselves in this orientation. Maybe relaxing the arms out to the side. If your legs up the wall, you can as well. You can also roll your head from one side to the other, just waving the nose, which helps to release tension from the neck, shoulders. I forgot the words there. And then one knee at a time into the chest. Check that you're really well balanced on your back, on your sacrum. Your block feels super secure. And then one leg at a time extended up towards the ceiling. Here, we don't have to have the feet together, but sometimes the feet being together makes it a little bit more restful for the knees, for the pelvis rather. And you can have your arms released out to the side. See if you can soften that space between the shoulder blades and open your heart a little bit. If your legs are on the wall, of course, this can be a little bit more restful. It doesn't matter if it's active. And whilst I'm turning my head from side to side, I'd prefer it if you just kept looking at your toes. A little softness in the knees is okay, as long as it feels like the weight of the legs is straight down into the support underneath you. So you don't want the feet too far away from you, and you don't want the feet too far towards you. Find that sweet spot where the body feels light. Let's take 3 more deep breaths. If you need to release, of course you may. And then very gently bringing your knees into your chest. If your legs up the wall, it's exactly the same. And then from here, so if you're on a freestanding block in the middle of your space, then you can stay here. If your legs are up the wall, you need to bring yourself back onto your mat for the next part. And you need to be up on your block as well. So, taking a moment to rearrange yourself. And those of you who are freestanding on the floor, 1 foot down to the floor at a time, so that the feet are now resting on the floor. It might feel a little bit more restful for the pelvis now that you're back into this orientation. We can all relax our arms out to the side. So everyone has a block underneath their sacrum. And we've been up on this block for a little while. So you might be having enough space to rotate your block into the next orientation. So you can explore this. So with your feet on the floor, firming the buttocks, lifting your hips up, and either sliding another book underneath your body or turning your block onto its long side, so it's on its medium height, and resting your sacrum down onto your block. Make sure it is the back of the pelvis that is supported. So if the block's too low, you'll rock off it, and if it's too high, it will press into the back of the waist here, which is not very pleasant. We want to avoid pressing into our soft tissues. So here, we're going to explore how it feels just like this for a couple of deep breaths, and then extending our legs. So relaxing the arms out to the side, relaxing the shoulders, maybe turning the head gently from side to side. Just a little sway to release any effort from the back of the neck. If it doesn't suit you to be at this height, just stay where you were or go back to the lowest setting of the block. So bridge pose is a really important part of the shoulder stand series. And it's very nice to do these more restful supported variations as a restorative practice. Now we're going to extend the right leg away from us. So it doesn't matter what orientation your block is on, extending your right heel along the mat so that you feel an openness across the front of the right side of the pelvis, and you've still got the stability of having your left foot on the ground. Now, if that feels good, you can stay like this. If it doesn't feel good, bring your foot back in, keep both knees bent and feet on the floor. If it feels good to have your right leg extended, you can try bending your left knee in towards your chest and catching hold of it with your left hand and your right hand if you want to, or just the left hand. And if that feels okay, if not, go back to the previous orientation. But if it feels okay, you can draw the left leg towards you and see if you can float your right heel off the floor. And if you can do that, then you can explore how it feels to maybe gently sway the right leg from side to side, or gently tap the right heel across the mat towards the left and towards the right, if swaying it in the air doesn't feel good. You don't have to sway or move at all if you just prefer to lengthen here. Try pointing the toes on both feet and flexing the heels on both feet, and choose which one feels best to use, but try to do both feet the same. Take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. Then if you're up, float your right leg to the floor, and then float your left foot to the floor. Slide your right foot in and spend a moment with both knees bent, the pelvis equally supported and a little bit better rested here. So when we've got the leg extended, we can lengthen through the hip flexors, we can get rid of tension there, and we can balance the sacroiliac joint a little bit better as well. So now the other side, extending the left leg away. And if it doesn't feel good on this side, simply accept that, bend the knee back in, foot on the floor. If it doesn't feel good on the higher orientation, you can try this on the lower one. It might suit you better there. If it feels good with the leg extended, you can bend your right knee into the chest and hug the knee towards you with one or both hands. You might need to balance a little bit on your block. If it feels good with the right knee in, you can try pulling that right leg towards you to float the left heel off the floor. Try pointing and flexing, choose whichever one feels best, either swaying the left leg from side to side or tapping gently the heel across the floor, or if you prefer, simply holding either with the heel up or down. Let's take a deep breath in. And a deep breath out. We can do one more like that. Deep breath in. deep breath out. Float the left heel down, float the right foot down, slide the left knee in and place the left foot on the floor. So we've been up on this higher orientation. For those of you who are for a little while, we're all going to come down to the lower one. So pressing into the feet, firming the buttocks, just lifting enough to be able to twist the block to a lower setting and settle the hips down. And then here, if you've already been on a lower setting and you've been fine with one leg extended and then the other, try with both legs extended, sliding the right heel out towards the right side of the mat, the right corner of the mat, and the left heel out to the left side, the left corner. Allow the feet to fall open if possible, so you feel almost like a rotation in the pelvis. And you can bring the toes to point upwards and then let the feet fall out again, and you feel the difference. So you'll feel the activation of the hip flexors as you bring the toes to point upwards, and then feel them release as you let the toes fall out to the side. So that's why we're doing it, yeah? And then just allowing your pelvis to soften here, the arms to release out to the side. And if it doesn't suit you with long legs, it doesn't mean anything other than your body is building towards having the space to do it. So if you've got your knees bent and your feet on the floor, stick with it. Your body will open in time. Here, whatever position you're in, a gentle sway of the nose from side to side before returning the head to center. Soften any holding patterns in the body. Feel the chest release, the forehead, the jaw, even the palms of the hands, the backs of the knees, the abdomen, the pelvis. For a deep breath in. And a deep breath out, followed by another deep breath in. And a deep breath out. And then we're preparing to move. So a little firmness across the abdominal muscles, sliding one foot in at a time, placing the foot down to help the other one come in. And then from this position here, pressing into the heels, lifting the buttocks only enough to be able to slide that block out from underneath, and then softening your hips down into the mat. And that should feel amazing right now. But if you want to experience a little bit more amazing, lengthen your legs so that you're lying down in relaxation pose. Don't worry, I'll give you a moment to find your bits for relaxation in a moment, but right now, just feel the awesomeness of your body for a couple of deep breaths. Then if you would like to put on anything for relaxation, then you can get up now to do it. And if you just want to be where you are because it feels so amazing, that's fine too. If you're rolling to one side, find your jumpers, your blankets, all your other bits and pieces. And I'm just going to switch off a few of our lights or dim them a little, because tonight we're going to do some Yoga Nidra. So we are just doing a short Yoga Nidra tonight. And so tonight I will be sitting up, but you guys will be lying down. If you've got some bolster or a blanket, a rolled blanket, or some cushions that you can pop underneath the backs of your legs for relaxation, then that is quite a useful thing to do. Supporting your body in any way that feels good to you. Taking your time, there's no hurry. We've got plenty of time for our Yoga Nidra. So for those of you who've not done Yoga Nidra before, Yoga Nidra is sometimes called yogic sleep. It's a very deep relaxation technique. And in it, we do something called body point awareness. So I'll mention parts of the body in quite quick succession, and you just focus your awareness on each part as it's mentioned, allow it to soften and release with awareness, and then we'll move on to the next part. And it does happen quite quickly, so it will be like thumb, first finger, middle finger, ring finger. So you're not having to focus on any one part for any time, any real length of time. And the other thing we need for Yoga Nidra is a sankalpa, a positive affirmation. And this is in keeping with our developing a healthy mindset. So thinking of a very positive statement about yourself. So for example, you could use, I am patient and kind. I am calm and relaxed. Something that is usually starting I, my, or me, and short and sweet. At the moment, I use my willpower to make healthy choices. Because willpower is something I definitely need to work on. So often your sankalpa is something that you are developing, not something you are perfect at already. If you can't think of anything, and that's okay, it's the end of the day, then use a really simple one like I am peace, or I am love, or I am happy. And it doesn't need to be true. It can just be a work in progress. So when you're ready, settled in your relaxation position, covered up with your blanket, if you've got one, and your jumpers. Allow your body to come into this new position. So remember, I'm sitting, but you are lying down. Supporting the body in any way that you need to. Allow the legs to fall wide apart with the toes falling out to the sides. Allow the arms to relax away from the body with the palms turned upwards. Softening that space between the shoulder blades. Relaxing the shoulders down into the ground. Here, taking a long, deep breath in, sighing out through the mouth. If you'd like to, you can repeat that one more time. A long, deep breath in. Surrender all of the body downwards. Allow your breath to fall into its natural rhythm and fall away into silence. With the eyes gently closed, waving the nose from side to side, easing any last tension out of the neck and shoulders, before bringing your head back to center and bringing your body to stillness. Feel the beginnings of a deep softening of effort through the whole body. Feel the face relaxing, the tongue and jaw, the shoulders and arms, the back and the front of the body, the hips and buttocks, the legs and feet, all heavy, all relaxing, all releasing. Bring your positive affirmation, your sankalpa, into your mind and mentally repeat it to yourself 3 times. And gently bring your awareness to your right hand thumb, first finger, middle finger, ring finger, little finger, the back of the hand, the palm of the hand, the right hand, the right wrist, forearm, elbow, upper arm, shoulder, armpit, the right side, right waist, right hip, right thigh, top of the knee, back of the knee, calf, shin, the right ankle, the heel of the foot, the sole of the foot, the top of the foot, the right big toe, second toe, third toe, fourth toe, little toe of the right foot. Bring your awareness to your left hand thumb, first finger, middle finger, ring finger, little finger, the back of the hand, the palm of the hand, the left wrist, forearm, elbow, upper arm, shoulder, armpit, the left side, left waist, left hip, left thigh, the top of the knee, the back of the knee, the calf, the shin, the left ankle, the heel of the foot, the sole of the foot, the top of the foot, the left big toe, second toe, third toe, fourth toe, little toe of the left foot. Draw your awareness back to your right hand thumb, first finger, middle finger, little finger, ring finger, back of the hand, palm of the hand, the right hand, the right wrist, forearm, elbow, upper arm, shoulder, armpit, the right side, right waist, right hip, right thigh, top of the knee, back of the knee, calf, shin, right ankle, heel of the foot, sole of the foot, top of the foot, the right big toe, second toe, third toe, fourth toe, little toe of the right foot. Move your awareness to your left hand, your left hand thumb, first finger, middle finger, ring finger, little finger, back of the hand, palm of the hand, the left hand, left wrist, forearm, elbow, upper arm, shoulder, armpit, left side, left waist, left hip, left thigh, top of the knee, back of the knee, calf, shin, left ankle, heel of the foot, sole of the foot, top of the foot, the left big toe, second toe, third toe, fourth toe, little toe of the left foot. Now bring your awareness to the whole of the right arm, the whole of the left arm, and both arms together. The whole of the right leg, the whole of the left leg, and both legs together. The right buttock, the left buttock, right shoulder blade, left shoulder blade, the whole of the back, the length of the spine, the back of the head, top of the head, both sides of the head, the forehead, the right eyebrow, the left eyebrow, the center between the eyebrows, the upper eyelids, the lower eyelids, the touch point of the eyelids, the length of the nose, the tip of the nose, the right nostril, the left nostril, the right cheek, the left cheek, the right ear, the left ear, the upper lip, the lower lip, the touch point of the lips, the tongue, the chin, the jaw, the throat, right collarbone, left collarbone, right side of the chest, left side of the chest, the center of the chest, the whole of the rib cage, the diaphragm, abdomen, navel, the right groin, the left groin. Now bring your awareness to the whole of the right side of the body, the whole of the right side of the body, the whole of the left side of the body, the whole of the left side of the body, the whole of the back of the body, the whole of the back of the body, the whole of the front of the body, the whole of the front of the body, bring your awareness to the whole body together, the whole body together. The whole body together. Bring your Sankalpa positive affirmation into your mind and repeat 3 times to yourself. And then bring your awareness to your breathing, focusing on the sensation of air coming in through the nostrils and the sensation of the breath as it leaves the body. Gently draw your awareness back to this time and this place, bringing your awareness into your hands and your feet by moving your fingers and toes. Maybe rolling your wrists or your ankles. When you feel ready, take a deep breath in and stretch the body in any way that feels good. Stretching through the arms, the legs, maybe stretching through the face of your maybe stretching the sides of the body. In your own time, you can gather your knees into your chest, hug them towards you, and make any movements that feel good with your spine. You can rock the knees from side to side or simply turn the head from side to side. Taking your time, keeping your eyes gently closed if you can. Roll to one side. Spend a moment just resting, taking that deep sense of peace with you. And then in your own time, coming into any comfortable seated position. Placing one hand on the heart and the other on top. Take a moment to think of something hopeful, happy, something that maybe sparks an inner light inside of excitement, anticipation, or a sense of peace, sense of calm. Whatever you have, allow that seed to be sown in your heart and grow and blossom forth onto your face as a smile. And we will offer each other namaste. Thank you very much for joining me for this class. I hope you enjoyed your Yoga Nidra. Remember your sankalpas this week. The more we think about it, the more true it becomes. Take care.